A few weeks ago, Bandai gave us a teaser of a new product referred to as the Digital Monster Project VB. There was a lot of heartbeat imagery in that teaser, and there was even a heartbeat sound effect going on in the background, which led myself and many others to assume that this could be a fitness tracker. And sure enough, that's exactly what it is. Bandai has now formally announced the Vital Bracelet series Digital Monster, which is a series of fitness trackers similar to the Fitbit, for example, but you raise Digimon on them. There's a lot of information that they've given us up front. It's very exciting. There's a lot to go over, so let's get right into this. First off, we see the design of the devices. They are fitness trackers. That's basically all there is to say about that. There's nothing super crazy about the design. It's got the logo on it. They've got a flap on the left side for a connection that I'll talk about here in a minute. They've got a flap on the right side, which is likely where you would charge the device. It's got two buttons on it, and it's got the screen, which is, hey, get this, in full color. There has never been a virtual pet that is in full color before, in the at least as far as Digimon is concerned. Tamagotchi's got a bunch. There's a bunch of other series of virtual pets that have them, but not Digimon. Closest we got was the Crossloader, which wasn't really a virtual pet. It was more of just a handheld toy, which is not a knock on it, but it was not a proper virtual pet. And I guess you could also argue this isn't really a proper virtual pet either, but it also really is, because you do have to raise these Digimon. I'm going to get into those raising mechanics. There's a lot of cool stuff they're doing with that. So right on this, we see that it has the time on it. Great. It's got a battery meter. So, okay, cool. Step counter, and I don't know what the thing in the middle is. It's got a dude with a score of 1997 next to it. Probably some kind of arbitrary fitness score for how well you're doing that day, which will tie into other features of the device. We also see this is coming out in March of 2021, and this is supposed to be a retail release. This isn't something you have to pre-order to get your hands on, as is the case with most Japanese V-Pets. In this case, it's just going to be straight up sold at stores. Now, whether it's going to be sold at stores outside of Japan remains to be seen, but there is some good evidence to suggest that we may very well be getting a release in some other territories. I would imagine at least the United States, maybe some other places as well. When they did the tweet announcement for this, they tweeted it out in Japanese, in English, and in Chinese, so I wouldn't expect them to do that unless they had plans to bring it over to at least those territories, or in the case of English, at least to the United States. Hopefully it gets to places beyond the United States, but we will see if and when we get more information on that. So yeah, not a pre-order device, just something that's supposed to be sold retail, with one exception. We'll get into that in a minute as well. But yeah, March 2021 is when we should start seeing these. So let's go ahead and scroll down the page here. First, this talks about what's the Vital Bracelet. And this is mostly machine translated right here, so I apologize if some of this doesn't make sense. But basically, it's describing that it's a fitness tracker that as you do your workouts, as you do the things you're supposed to do to keep your body nice and healthy, that your Digimon will evolve and will be able to battle and all this jazz. And it's, you know, exactly what you would expect from this kind of mashup. You take Digimon raising, you take fitness tracker, mash them together. It's exactly what you expect it to be, which isn't to say that's a bad thing. It's all it needs to be honest with you. So I'm very excited to try this out. I think I could use a bit of a new workout routine, and this would help me definitely get into that. As far as guide making goes, no promises, because I think this might be the absolute hardest guide that I would be out there to make, considering how much running I would have to do to get that done. So we'll see. No promises on a guide for this. There's a video. If you haven't watched the video yet, I'll put a link to it right here. The video itself, it's a fine overview. It doesn't really get into a lot of the details. It's just kind of a flashy, hey, look at this thing we made. And it heavily features the new Digimon that they're showcasing for this. Pulsemon is its name, and it's, you know, it's some flashy graphics, kind of like the that whole Digimon brand commercial that they made last year, or was that the beginning of this year? Good heavens, the beginning of this year was so long ago. It's almost the end of the year, guys. Crazy. Anyway, yeah, so check out that video if you just want a quick little show off of what the device kind of is supposed to look like in real life. There's a lot of CGI going on, so don't expect Digimon to actually fly around you, but it's still cute regardless. As far as details of the device, so there's main 3 points that they touch on this. They touch on what they call Pulse Link, Touch Link, and App Log Link. So 3 types of links. Link your body to device, as it says here. So Pulse Link, as you would expect from a fitness tracker, this thing tracks your fitness. So it'll keep track of your pulse for you, so as you're working out, it'll make a note of that. And I know the number I saw earlier, the 1997, that was probably not a pulse, so I'm not sure what that number is again, but don't confuse that for your pulse. If you have a pulse of 1997, please go to a doctor immediately. That is not good. In fact, or maybe it's very good. Maybe that just means you're moving so fast that you're traveling through time. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So there you go. So that's the Pulse Link. It's the vital value and mental state of Digimon fluctuate, I'm reading this right out the machine translation, according to the user's activity data, which is heart rate and steps, leading to development and evolution. So yeah, based on your heart rate and based on your steps, that will affect evolution. Next thing is TouchLink, and this is pretty cool. So this device has NFC in it, near field communication, same thing that your phone has in it. And it activates something called auto battle. So when you touch an NFC point, then a battle may occur. And it describes here that even a smartphone equipped with NFC would be able to act as a touch point. And in one of the pictures, they have a train terminal where you would normally touch your train pass. They show that off too. So basically anything that uses an NFC may be able to produce battles. I'm not certain that's 100% everything with NFC, but it sure seems that way. It says the winning percentage of battles changes depending on the activity status of users, and that will affect development and evolution as well. So how much you win will determine what kind of things you evolve into. So that, along with your heart rate and steps, is very important to keep track of. And then we have the app log link. Of course, this is a fitness tracker. Every fitness tracker has a companion app that you use with it, and this is going to be no exception. So you'll be able to use a dedicated smartphone app. It'll record your activity records, your daily missions, which I guess there's daily missions. I didn't mention that before, but that's the first time I've read it on this page. And you can register your Digimon in the Digimon Encyclopedia. It's actually cool. There's a little picture of a growth chart on the phone itself, so you'll be able to keep track of it there, which is a beautiful touch. I love that. The app is scheduled to be updated in the future. It will be released in around the same time as the device. It says it's scheduled to be released in March, and you'll be able to browse online battles with users nationwide. Now notice it says nationwide instead of worldwide. That's pretty interesting. So it seems like battles may be region locked. So if you are in the United States, you may be able to only battle other folks in the United States, or if you're in Japan, other folks in Japan. There's also going to be raid battles. So I know that's going to do an immediate ear perk for people listening to be like, oh, like Pokemon Go. And I guess, yeah, that was one comparison. I think this is kind of what Digimon's answer to Pokemon Go is. Not necessarily like that it's them trying to cash in on that success, because that's like, what, 4 or 5 years old now, Pokemon Go? So if they're trying to ride on that coattail, they're late to the party. But I think it's just like, they wanted to do a real world thing, and people wanted a real world thing too. So yeah, it's like Pokemon Go in the sense that you do this in the real world, but unlike Pokemon Go, this is again a fitness tracker. This is much more meant to get you active and moving, whereas Pokemon Go it's meant to get you to explore, but not necessarily like straight up exercise. So this is much more dedicated to exercise. They've been paying attention and noticing that I'm getting a little flabby, I guess. So gotta work on that. So there you go. It's got an app, and the evolution. So the evolution again depends on the vital values of heart rate and steps. It depends on winning percentage and the number of missions completed. So all that stuff will affect how your Digimon will evolve. So that's pretty cool. I really like that idea. I was joking a few weeks ago saying like, oh, so if you do your workouts, you become Greymon, and if you don't do them, then you become Numemon. And I'm actually not that far off, surprisingly enough. And if we look at the chart here of the Digimon, so we see it's got a whole bunch of new Digimon here. Like, these are all 100% new Digimon, all branching off of Pulsemon here. They're all very close in color, all these yellow, greens, and whites, which is cool, except for that one guy at the top. He's a little bit red. But as you can see, the Digimons up top are a little bit more like fierce and fit looking, whereas you have a dopey looking sloth at the bottom. So I really like that, because it's true. If you don't work out, you will become a Digimon that symbolizes that, in this case, sloth. So that also might be incentive if you want to complete your encyclopedia. So it's like, okay, well, I want to get the top care thing, so I'm going to run as hard as I can, and then when it comes time to get the bottom care, it's like, well, okay, I guess I'll just sit around and eat fried chicken. Cool. So 100% might not be as healthy for you if you are a completionist, but hey, it's still fun. As for the Digimon themselves, we do have names for these. These are just direct translations, so the official names may change, or rather be revealed later to be something different. But going in order of what we see here, we have Dokimon and Bibimon as the babies. We have Pulsemon as the child. For the adult stage, we have from top to bottom there Bulkmon, Examon, Ranamon, and Namakemon. And then in the perfect stage, we have Pautmon. And then in the final ultimate stage, we have Kazuchimon. So there you go. Those are the guys you can expect to raise. And the thing that's cool about this, right, is that these are the residents of Impulse City. And if you've never heard of Impulse City before, don't worry, neither have I, because that leads us right into one of the big new features of this device, and that is the DIM card system. DIM standing for Digimon Identified Memory Card. And there's a few already that they revealed, and the first one they're showing off here is Impulse City. This one comes with the device, and this is, from what I can gather, the DIM cards are what load the Digimon that you raise. So in this case, the Impulse City card loads these Digimon that we just went over here, all these new green and yellow Digimon. And it also changes your area, it changes the graphics of the device, and all from that card. So you plug in that card, load it, take it out, and then you're good. It's basically kind of like a little USB chip, the kind that you get in a credit card, more than a SIM card. Like a SIM card you leave in the device, it does not appear you leave in the device. You just plug it in, load, and go. So yeah, this one comes with the ones that you buy, so you get Impulse City by default, and there are others to go over. We'll go over those in a minute here, but yeah, pretty neat system. That's definitely one way of making these expandable, and I expect that beyond the ones that we're going to show off today, we're probably going to be seeing more of these released in the future, so you'll be able to get new cards to replace the current Digimon if you see one that comes out that you really like. So if they ever make a Deep Savers card, I will be right on that, and probably will never switch away from it. So, and it also is nice just because if you get multiple cards, and you can switch between them to keep things fresh, raise a whole bunch of new Digimon. I'm sure they all get unique entries in the app encyclopedia, so definitely some incentive to get those. As far as pricing is concerned, so the device is releasing, first of all, on March 13th, 2021. I said March earlier. I don't know if I said March 13th earlier. So March 13th, 2021 is when these are supposed to come out, and they have a manufacturer's suggested retail price. Again, they are going to be retail. That is fantastic. A device from Japan is actually going to be released retail instead of pre-order only. And the price is 6,380 yen. And that's like about 60 bucks in USD, a little bit more than that maybe. It's around that. So that's how much the actual whole basic thing is going to be. So that's not as expensive as I would have expected, considering the fact that, you know, our crappy little V-Pets that we normally get, and I do love them, but they're not the greatest of technology. Those things normally run for, you know, around 4,000 yen. So for only 2,300 more yen, you get this thing that has many more features, including the step counter, the heart rate monitor, the actual color screen, the NFC, all that stuff. So I'm very surprised by how low this is priced. Could it be cheaper? I don't know. There's like these crappy fitness trackers in Walgreens that are like 20 bucks that you can get, which I guess if you don't know what a Walgreens is, if you're not in the United States, that's it's just a basic drugstore that's on every corner. At least in Florida, it's on every corner. And they sell like stuff like that at the checkout stand, along with all the different phone chargers. So maybe it could be cheaper, but honestly, as far as I'm concerned, that's a really good price. That's a price of a Tamagotchi On, basically. So really cool. I also didn't bring up the charging yet, by the way. This is a rechargeable device, as you should expect it to be. There's no batteries that you have to swap out, so you just plug it in at the end of the day, and bam, you're good to go. As a heads up though, I will say, devices like this, small devices like this, those batteries can wear out quickly, so do try to keep your battery life between 80 and 20% to best preserve your battery life on these devices. I've definitely ran through a few smartwatches in my time by not paying attention carefully, so extend your longevity, charge properly. So it comes in black, it also comes in white. They say version white and version black, but there don't appear to be any actual version differences. Again, the actual Digimon appear to come from those little DIM cards. So it doesn't matter which one you get, you could just load in whatever DIM card you want and bam. But these both show off Pulsemon and all of its friends from Impulse City as being the Digimon on these devices. Now, there is one more version, that is the Digital Monster version special of the Vital Bracelet. And this one has a picture of Veemon right there on the front. So yeah, you can get Veemon. The little cut-in picture shows Veemon, X-Veemon, and Paildramon. But then we see this little piece of text here that says Premium Bandai Limited Product. You cannot escape them. You cannot escape Premium Bandai. No matter what, they've always got you. So if you like Veemon, you're going to have to get that version, which is lime green. Or it's like electric green, I guess. It's like the same color as Pulsemon, which is strange since this is like a device that also features Veemon. Whatever. I'm not a fan of that color, so I'm gonna skip out on Veemon. Sorry, maybe someone will be nice enough to sell me the Veemon chip so I can load that on my device, because this will be its own chip. That is already confirmed. It's just that it seems at this point the only way to get that chip is to purchase this version from Premium Bandai. It's an extra. It's about an extra 1,000 yen, which that actually does make sense because the chips cost about that. I think the chips are like about 800 yen each, if I remember correctly, and we'll verify that here later. So it makes sense for it to be a little bit more expensive, plus, you know, premium Bandai, whatever. They just kind of upcharge things to begin with. So there you go, there's a version special. If you really care about VMon, you might want to consider getting that one. Sorry if you don't like the color. And then at the bottom of the page, we have the different dim cards that you can get. So we have the Impulse City one, of course, and then we also have 4 other ones that we haven't gone over yet. We have Volcanic Beat, Blizzard Fang, Agumon, and Gabumon. And then it also shows an Ancient Warriors chip, which is the one that contains VMon and all that. So we might see other 02 Digimon on that chip as well. I keep calling them chips. They officially refer to them as dim cards. So if I say chip, I really do mean card. It's just, yeah, it looks chippy to me. So as far as the other dim cards that you can purchase, so there's the cool thing about this is that they're sold separately, first of all, so you don't have to do anything special to get them, and it is 1,760 yen to buy a 2-pack. So you get 2 dim cards when you spend 1,760 yen. So that equals out to, yeah, around, I guess, 900 yen per individual card. So $8 or $9 USD, so probably like $10 USD. I would imagine they'd sell it for over here. 20 for the 2-pack. So yeah, first up is Volcanic Beat and Blizzard Fang, which those come with volcanic and rocky mountain area Digimon, as well as Digimon that live on glaciers and snowfield areas. So there you go. That's what you get for those. You can see Lavorvamon and what is it, Paladramon? Yeah, Paladramon up front there, so you know, okay, you're at least going to get them on this device, as well as I would assume the rest of their lines. So again, you plug them into the device and you get those Digimon to raise, which is great. I am all for that. And these are supposed to release after the devices themselves, so you should be able to start buying the dim cards in April of 2021, whereas the device itself comes out again in March. So you might have to wait a bit to actually get some of the new ones. Maybe at that point you'll have done enough workouts to get all the Digimon from Impulse City. I don't know. I don't know how long evolution times or anything will be on this, so who knows how long Digimon will last, and what would cause them to die? Like, do you have to stop working out in order to kill your Digimon? I don't know. We'll see. I do not know how that will work. And then as far as the other set goes, we have, this one actually comes out in mid-March as well. And unlike the Volcanic Beat and Blizzard Fang, that's referred to as Volume 1, this is referred to as the EX set. I'm not sure why it wouldn't be Volume 2, or if there's anything special about this, but it does say that it's the same price as the other one. It does look like it'll be a retail item as well. But this one has, it's featuring Digimon from Digimon Adventure : namely you have Agumon and Gabumon from that series right there. I don't know if there's going to be other Digimon from : on there as well, or if it's just going to be just them. I would imagine they would at least evolve into several different adult and perfect forms and all that, but I don't know for sure. We don't know any of the other Digimon on them, other than those that we just see on the cards themselves. So those are the dim cards, and there is one more actually. There's one more dim card. This one's a little bit confusing though, because this one is called Black Roar, and it features the correct Metal Greymon, not the crappy orange one. This is the correct Metal Greymon, the original Metal Greymon. And of course I see that and I'm like, I want that. I want to see his cute new little sprite that they made for this, because it does look like, by the way, that we are getting new sprites for this, because we did have Agumon shown off. It's kind of hard to see. He's in the background of one of the pictures of his phone, but we did see him tease a few weeks ago, or maybe even 1 week ago. What is time? But it's a new sprite, one that hasn't been used for Agumon before in the past. So I would expect to see that every Digimon on here has a brand new sprite. They're not just reusing the 16x16s and using the colored versions from Cyber Sleuth or whatever. These are brand new sprites. So I want to see what this Metal Greymon sprite looks like. But here's the thing, this one is a pre-order bonus. Don't you just love the age we live in, where there's things that are exclusive to pre-order bonuses? So this one, it says specifically you can raise Digimon from Botamon to Black War Greymon. Whether that means there's just the standard Black Agumon line, I don't know. There might be other Digimon as well on there. I would expect there to be. These chips seem to have like a good number of Digimon on them, so there you go, calling them chips again. But I don't know specifically how many Digimon are on that. But the reservations, the pre-orders will begin on December 18th, which is a Friday, so it's a good ways away from now. The only thing I don't know is where will we be able to pre-order this, because this is, again, it will be a retail release. I don't want to have to go through a Japanese site to import this if I don't have to. If this is going to be releasing internationally, I want to be able to buy it just from the store. I don't want to have to pre-order this from Japan to be able to get it. But that also has me worried. Will I be able to get this if it releases internationally? So I'm hoping they give us more information before that point, before pre-orders happen, to let me know whether or not I need to actually be caring about this. It'd also be a good idea to know whether or not the devices are interchangeable as far as language goes. Like, I don't know if the one device is just everything and you just configure what language it's in. That would be great if that's the case. I would love it if it had all the languages on it so that there's no problems with importing it or whatever. But I don't know anything about that yet. No details have been released regarding that. So yeah, that's pretty much all the information there is about this so far, which is, again, it's a lot of information. I've been talking for quite some time now. I don't think there's anything else I really need to cover with this, but yeah, so this is it. This is the Vital Bracelet. This is the new Digimon Virtual Pet. I would say the one that we've been asking for, but because of the fitness aspect, it definitely is more of a spin-off than a true new virtual pet, I guess. But then again, we have these growth charts like we would normally have, and it's just a different way of raising. And I think that's great. I'd love to see this kind of innovation. We haven't seen this kind of innovation in a while. The Crossloader was the last real new Digimon device that we ever got, and a lot of people slept on that because it wasn't it wasn't a virtual pet, and a lot of people don't like Cross Wars to begin with. So I certainly didn't care enough to get one, but that was me. I did like the innovation though. I liked when they made new devices and did new things. Like the Excel is one of my favorite devices. Spoiler alert for my next History of Digimon V Pets video. But I like that they're doing something new again. I really do like that. I'm definitely excited for this. I'm definitely really looking forward to getting one. My wife actually might be getting one too. I showed it to her tonight, and she's like, "Oh, that looks like fun. Maybe I want one too." And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if she actually wants one or not. I think she just mostly wants to be able to raise Gabumon. So if I can get Gabumon on it, she'll probably want one. So again, this is it's really cool. Very happy to see them doing something new. Happy to see them actually having a color device with whole new designs on it. That's a lot of new Digimon. I don't think I've spent enough time saying that, by the way. This is a lot of new Digimon, which is very, very cool. I can't say I particularly am into these ones specifically. I'm a big Deep Savers guy, so you get electrical themed dudes that are all green and yellow. That's kind of the antithesis of Deep Savers. So I'm hard for me to be super enthused about these designs, but there's a lot of other designs we haven't seen yet. There's let's see. Yeah, there's 8 more slots on this chart that I haven't seen. So maybe there's one other that will speak to me. But regardless, I'm just happy to be raising new Digimon anyway. I like having new ones to raise instead of the same old Agumon over and over again, which you can also do on this device, of course. So yeah, very much looking forward to this. Hoping we get some more information in the near future before pre-orders go up, so I know whether or not I need to. I'll try to keep you guys updated as well, of course. And if you want to be the first to know this sort of thing, definitely join the Discord. It's the Digitama Hatchery Discord. You can join it directly from my website. I've got a link in the description down below. We were going nuts tonight talking about this. It was a rapid chat movement. We all jumped in voice chat too. So if you want to be a part of that kind of thing, if you want to be in the forefront of new Digimon information, definitely join the Discord. And we'd love to have you there. I'd love to have you talking about this. And yeah, you can do other things like show off your collection and crap over there too. Yeah, there's a little something for everybody. So I will definitely be keeping updates going there. I'll update on here as enough information comes in. And yeah, tell me what you think. What do you think of this new device? Is this something you'd be interested in? I know it's fitness. I don't know how many of you are into fitness, but will this make you want to get into fitness? Or if you're already into fitness, does this seem like something you would replace your current fitness tracker with? And maybe not entirely. I do use a smartwatch, and it does have fitness tracking capabilities, of course, and I do like the fact that it reads me my text messages and all that. So I don't know if I would want to wear something like this 100% of the time, but then again, maybe I would. Maybe the Digimon part would be incentive enough for me. So yeah, let me know your thoughts below. And if you have any questions about it, again, hit up the Discord, or you can comment here. I do read all of my comments. I may not reply to all of them, but I do read them all, at least. So anyway, hopefully I will see you again soon with more information on this, but until then, I will see you later. Bye!